Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Southern Scrap Nation's podcast. Your host, as always, Daniel Jonas. Me. Welcome back. It is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. It's around 10:30 or so. We're here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to be talking about what happened this past weekend at UFC 293. Yeah, 293, and as well as talking about what's going on this weekend. We got another title fight. It's free on ESPN Plus, though, so if you're an active member, you get free title fight this weekend. I think no. Hold on. Yep, no, it's in the T-Mobile Arena, but it's a Mexican stacked card. I know it's like, I think it's for, I don't know what the reason for this is. I forget the reason for this card. As far as, I don't know if it's like some Mexican based card. I know because Alexa Grasso's on it, but it's Noche by UFC. Enjoys tacos. No, there's like a bunch of, yeah. I think they were trying to do like a female card. I'm pretty sure, like an all female card. I don't know. I don't know what turned into this card, but we're getting we're getting a free title fight this weekend in the 125-pound rematch. As far as promoting goes, it just shows you, like ticket buying power. That's why Shevchenko, as much as people love watching her fight, she's always the co-main event of like John Jones or John Jones. It's always mostly John Jones, but that's why she's typically the co-main event. It's not easy selling tickets, so. But there are some good cards. There are some good fights on this card. You got Kevin Holland co-main eventing it. Always fun. But let's talk about what happened this past weekend. We'll get into some news, whatever's happened between Saturday and today. Make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching. I appreciate it. Hit that notification bell so you know every week I do one of these before the fights. At least every week before a fight, I do these. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll keep kicking them out. So let's go ahead and look at the results from this past weekend. All right. So right off the bat, I want to say, really disrespectful, right? When they told him he was a minus 600 favorite. It's kind of crazy. I told you the Chael Sonnen thing was a possibility. Sean Strickland isn't a bad fighter. He's just very awkward. He's 28-5 now. He's pretty good, you know. He's been around. So when you watch the fight, the one thing I will say is I don't agree with Dana White and anyone else that's saying that it's Israel's slow night. Or he was slow that night, or something was off. I do not think so. I think what it is what Anderson Silva did, and what John Jones does. Well, what Anderson Silva did was a different time, and what John Jones is currently doing isn't easy. Like, John Jones is the GOAT in my opinion for a reason. People have talked about Israel's record. It's hard for me to like get behind the numbers of the record, but when you do, never mind. Yeah, it kind of seems like he's not quote unquote GOAT status in my mind. What is his record? He's like something in, he's like, so he's 3-2 in his last 4, or in his last 5, right? If you're a GOAT, you're just not anything like that. You win dominantly. And this fight, it shows that when you stay at Israel's range and you just respect his striking so much, you let him win. You just let him coast to a victory. But if you fight him, the people that have Kelvin Gastelum, Alex Pereira, I will even put Paulo Costa in there, and Sean Strickland. Now, when you try to fight that person, or you try to fight Izzy, two things can happen. You either end up like Paulo Costa and Alex Pereira, or you end up like Alex Pereira and Sean Strickland. Or Alex Pereira, Kevin Gastelum, and Paulo Costa. Or you end up like Alex Pereira and Sean Strickland. All right? When you force him to fight, you kind of make it a shootout. When you stay at kicking range with Izzy, he's able to just hit you with a leg kick, hit you with a head kick, hit you with a leg kick, hit you with a head kick, hit you with a leg, and you can block, you can parry, you can check. But if you don't go past that range and just put him straight into boxing range, Sean just walked into boxing range. Obviously, Izzy tried to counter by throwing leg kicks or head kicks. Sean blocked it and returned with a punch, or he checked it and returned with a punch. As soon as Izzy threw that first kick and Sean checked it, I'm sure Izzy was like, fuck. I thought I was going to be able to just leg kick my way to victory. Sean doesn't even have a quad. I thought I was going to just kick his lead leg out. But no, he checked it and he walked past that range. No kickboxing. Just boxing. But boxing with small gloves on. And then on the interims, whenever he would back Izzy up. And I will say the parts that Izzy did look slow in, but I don't know if it's a tell on maybe his actual striking is that way. And I never really picked it up till now because no one's really just pressed him besides Alex. I guess, you know what? Maybe the Alex fight I just never took the Alex fight for granted in a way. The reason being is because Alex is just a different person. He's one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time in kickboxing, and they've had a past together, and just all these different things that when I watch that fight, I go, oh well, toss up. Doesn't really, it's an anomaly in my opinion. But when it came to the Sean Strickland fight, just like the Kelvin Gastelum fight, if you just walk past that kicking range, it's very hard for Izzy to do as well as he does. And then when you get him to the cage and he does his parallel movement, he has no urgency to get back to the center. He likes to go left, right, and then skirt along the side. And that's all and well, but you have a cage behind you. And if you don't have any urgency to then circle back to the middle and then retake the center, eventually your back's going to hit the cage. It doesn't matter how good your lateral footwork is, your back's going to hit the cage. Especially if someone like Sean Strickland's doing the right footwork where he's where he's going 2 steps to the right or 2 steps to the left. And then anytime Izzy tried to stop and throw a punch, Sean would pick his knee up and teep him right in the stomach. So it wasn't like it was just boxing. Sean just picked his strikes. And that was the biggest thing for me too, was watching Sean out jab Izzy by picking the moments. Touch. As soon as Izzy's back foot touched that ground, jab. It was never anything. It wasn't the volume that you're used to with Sean until he dropped him with that right hand in that first round. He dropped him with that right hand in the first round. And then after that, you could say that it got to him, whatever, but it was just the constant pressure. Just the most impressive thing was not the dominance of the pressure fighting of Sean, but he messed up Izzy's striking numbers like crazy. It was a shutout as far as when it comes to what usually Izzy does to people. Izzy racks up 20 leg kicks in a round, so now you're at a deficit of 20 strikes in that round. And it was the opposite. It was the opposite this time. That right hand really got him. Yeah, shout out to Eric Nixick and the guys at Syndicate for figuring it out. But I think it's just a matter of styles make fights. And Izzy's style always has trouble with the pressure fighter. When the bully becomes the nail. And that's why I think a lot of people, when they watch Izzy, they're not a big fan. Is because Izzy talks about this, being bullied like a kid, but then when he goes and he fights, he acts like a bully. Because whenever someone puts pressure on him, he folds, kind of. Or it becomes a way harder fight than when he's just able to go forward. Which, to be fair, could be everybody's fight, but then don't play that game. It would be one thing if you go out there and you Khabib everybody, where regardless if someone just tries to put you on the back foot, you just dominate them. But when you skirt around the side, pick them apart, it's good, but it's not what people are looking for, especially for all the big game you talk. And then when a guy who comes in here and he's just like, I was a neo-Nazi and I'm not anymore, and I changed. If I can change, you can change. And if I can wear this gold belt, you can wear this gold belt. When that down-to-earth, being wholesome Sean Strickland comes around, yeah, people are just more into that. That's hard work. He got to the title through hard work. 28 wins, 5 losses. Never got cut from the UFC. Always a company man. People that beat him are like Usman, Santiago Ponzinibbio, and you're also talking about him at a deficit at 170. Then you think about recently, his most recent losses, the Jared Cannonier fight. Possibly a loss, possibly a win. It's a close fight. People, whoever you had. And then the Alex Pereira fight. Alex Pereira isn't Israel Adesanya. It's the one thing that I keep mentioning, and people kept mentioning but we saw what happened with Sean and Alex, and we saw what Izzy did to Alex. So yeah, but Alex is also a world champion kickboxer, and Izzy did kickboxing, and then he left kickboxing. Point blank period. And then Sean, to his credit, went and worked with Alex before this fight. So if anyone has a little bit of knowledge on how to fight Izzy, it's gonna be Alex. All right. So let's look at some of these highlights, right? So here, framing on the head, not letting Izzy throw that right hand. Where Alex made the mistake in this situation was that he didn't have his hands on Izzy. He just was throwing and then was hoping his head movement and like slipping was going to be what got him out of trouble. The difference between he and Sean in that case is Sean's actually hand trapping. So if Izzy wanted to, you can see the French tips. It's part of the reason why Sean's real angry. Look at him. He's looking at the French tips right now. Look at his eyes. He's like, you son of a bitch. You're going to come in here with well-manicured nails, you bastard. And then, so he frames on his head. So if you wanted to throw something in return, he's too close. I think to Sean's advantage, he has shorter arms than Izzy, so he has to get inside. He could frame on Izzy's shoulder if he tried to throw a right hand or an elbow or anything, which made it hard, and it forces him to move his feet. Okay, I don't know why they just showed that, and then they showed the beginning. Okay, what other ones do they have? Yoel Romero, guy didn't have enough volume, but if he pressed him, checks the kick. It's momentary pain. It sucks. Checking kicks suck, but it's momentary pain. Take that momentary pain if you have the goal in mind to win the title. Boom. Look at that. Right down the pipe. Let's slow it down. Oh no, it's subtitles. He kind of comes at it like a hook. And so Izzy does his patented pulls the left hand back because he wants to throw the right hook, just like he did to Rob Whittaker. It's like what he thinks. Imagine Robert Whittaker in this position. Rob is leaping in. I'm pointing at the screen. I'm not pointing at the screen anymore. He's leaping into frame to throw the right hand. So that allows Izzy to catch him as he's leaping in. However, Sean's stepping in. So as soon as Sean gets to this position, his shoulder's covering his chin. That punch isn't going to hit him. And if he tries to throw the right hand, Sean's inside. So boxing is where it's at. And see how he just collapses him. First time Izzy's been knocked down. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I thought Pereira knocked him down. Pereira didn't knock him down. Pereira just, Yep, see, there's that teep I was talking about. And what's cool about the teep is at a system basis, if you're trying to develop striking in the system ways, linear to round attacks. So if I'm going up the middle with an attack or down the middle, like a jab cross, teep, push kick, snap kick, any of these things, side kick, any things that require down the middle foot or down the middle striking, a good follow-up is always a hook because people like to parry and their hands come away from their face. It allows that opening for the hook. They even move their body, right? They might parry this way, opens up that side, or you just feed them to the side that you want to throw the hook at. So Sean's going to do that, and that kind of I keep pressing the subtitles. Sean does that perfectly. He teeps him and then starts throwing hooks. And that kind of keeps Izzy backing away, like, oh my God, I'm never going to get a chance to throw my shot. So here he goes. He teeps as he throws the right hand. It's a pretty good shot by Izzy. But, yeah, Sean rolls with it. And then he immediately comes with see, that was the front teep. So he's going to throw the right hand. And look, Izzy's hands down. Sean starts throwing punches. And he's right back in his face. It's a way to counterbalance yourself. So that way, when you throw the teep, you're not too far on the back foot. You bring yourself right back to center. And now Sean can just walk him back down. He feints with the jab. He respects. Boom. Oh, okay. Then we're back at this. Jab. Hook. Nothing. He's not doing anything crazy. It's just pressure. And then right back on. I mean, we all know Sean's a pain to fight in the gym. Sparring, it looks like he's a nightmare. But that's essentially what Sean did. He went out there and he sparred Izzy. And Izzy did not like it. I guarantee you that's what would happen if they went and they sparred in the gym. That right there. 100%. So, and new. That's 2 of the 3. That's 2 of the 3. That's 2. All we need is for Colby and Leon to figure it out. And if they do, I might have 3 new champions. Okay, what other ones? Tai Tuivasa lost to Alexander Volkov. I mean, kind of, expected that. Alexander Volkov. He's good, man. He's really, really good. If you're not Derek Lewis in the 3rd round doing the most big Hail Mary thing ever, or Cyril Gahn, or Tom Aspinall, he's hard. He's hard to beat. I mean, he was the first Bellator champion. I don't even think he's fought. I mean, Jairzinho he beat. Cyril Gahn. I don't think we'll ever see a Sergey Pavlovich fight, but yeah, he's beaten everybody. And the people that he hasn't beaten are either fighting for the title, have fought for the title, have won a title. And Ty's just lost the same weight to that level of competition. So it kind of shows you where Alexander Volkov is. He's up there with Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gahn. He's up there with them. It's just that they beat him those days. And anyone that's not at their level, he smashes. I mean, he submitted him. It's his first submission. He submitted Tai Tuivasa. I mean, not saying that submitting Tai Tuivasa is a hard task in comparison to someone who's a known jiu-jitsu practitioner. However, Alexander Volkov's never submitted anybody. So still hats off to Alexander Volkov being able to submit a high-level professional fighter. And then Manel Kape just has that thing. He has that it factor. He touches guys, they fall. Felipe Dos Santos did a really good job. For being a non-ranked guy going to the decision against number 10 in the world, that's impressive. He's definitely going to have a number next to his name today, or this week. But Manal is just something about him. So the other guy's credit, though, he did very well. I think that's less on like how it's less to take away. It's not anything to take away from Manal. It's more to give credit to Felipe Dos Santos. I think he nailed it. A decision, but main card. When everyone else is getting finished, you're the only one to take, or you and the champ are the only one to take it to a decision. I would take that. Tyson Pedro just making quick work of Anton. Pleasure man. And then Justin Taffa finally getting that revenge on Austin Lane for that eye poke. Good fights. Carlos Erberg. That was nasty. Jack Jenkins fell and dislocated his elbow off of a judo toss. Ugh. Crazy. I called pretty much all of these, except for that freak one. This dude. These two. Mike. What? Yep. What a card. All right. Let's talk some news. Let's not talk DraftKings. Let's talk news. Not everything he does on paper is wrong. It looks weird. I would say because he's not an athletic person, so it looks weird. You get someone who is also a born athlete or someone that comes from like a very athletic. Sean fights. Sean goes into training to fight, to spar, to fight. He doesn't really give a shit about like shuffle steps and all those like picking your feet up kind of things. And he's not in my mind that kind of focus on athleticism. I wouldn't even say Izzy. I mean, Izzy's more now in this career than he was in his career before. Izzy's more of a martial artist. But, ever since becoming a champion, he started getting into strength and conditioning programs and really focusing on that. But if you watch Izzy run, for a tall guy, runs weird. All that being said, yes, Sean doesn't look like he does things correctly, but when we just showed that, I mean, his right hand when he threw it, what have we done? It covers his chin, turned it over, hit him at the right time. Everything was perfect. So it's unorthodox because of the way he carries his hands and the way he does like this, but it's fighting, so there's no big gloves. It's not a It's not the Queensberry rules. It's not all these specific rule sets that change the way that it's fighting. So if someone wants to go for a takedown, you got to be ready for that. If someone wants to throw a head kick, you got to be ready for that. Kamaru Usman admits he probably rushed into the Leon Edwards trilogy. Okay. Did he have a choice? Did he have a choice? Like Dana White, did he have a... Oh, he's relating this into the Izzy thing. For Izzy, I'm sure he's a competitor. Quote, for Izzy, I'm sure he's a competitor. He's feeling a bit of that. Well, thinking this guy. Oh, he's saying that now. Okay. I mean, I hope Izzy doesn't feel that way. That's what Eric Nixick was saying in an interview yesterday, and I agree with him. It's more than just like I had a bad day. There's a lot that he has to change. He has to figure things out. If you wanna hear the sad truth of the matter, and even more so because Izzy's 35, I think. Someone posted Lawrence Kenshin, striking breakdowns. I like his stuff, but he posted a thing of he showed Izzy's work when he was a kickboxer back when he was 22, and he's like, "This is what Izzy looks like. It's not usually what he looked like on Saturday night. I think it was a flop. It would never happen. And to me, that's even more disrespectful than the minus 600 and minus 675 when they walked in the cage to Sean Strickland. One, Izzy's 34. So to compare him to how he was when he was 22 is ridiculous. In kickboxing, mind you. Lawrence Kitchen, I love your stuff, but to compare him in kickboxing to what he looked like on Saturday night? What? Apples and oranges. And two, to think that what Sean Strickland didn't produce the performance that Israel had, for all you striking analysts out there, take your credit down the wall. Take your degree off the wall. Because the same thing with what Eric Nixick said. You can't just go to the drawing board on Monday and be like, oh, we got this the next time it goes around. No, there are distinct things that he has to change. Then the sad truth is, if you want to get any better and change the outcome, you got to be like Corey Sandhagen. You want to deal with that pressure? You got to start dropping down for double legs. Sorry, that's the way it is. You have to be a mixed martial artist. Sorry you signed up as a kickboxer and thought it would be easy because none of these guys had striking. Well, guess what? One of them figured out how to strike effectively against a guy that strikes really, really well. So, in turn, you're going to have to do something that might be out of your comfort zone in order to deal with that. And for being a striker, it's crazy that he doesn't do anything Muay Thai related. Like, I don't know, enter the clinch, throw elbows, throw knees. You're just being a kickboxer isn't going to win you the title of mixed martial arts champion of the world when someone brings the fight to you. Lucky enough, he had people that stayed on the outside, or he shelled up and threw an overhand right. To me, that's what it looks more like than when someone adds an aspect of mixed martial arts, Jan Blachowicz, and you can say the size or whatever. Cool. Fine. But then you look at this fight. Sean didn't go for one takedown. But just the thought of it didn't let Izzy get his game plan off the way he wanted to. It's going to take more than just, oh, it was an off day. And for anyone that says that, I question your fight IQ. Because the people that are watching it, that understand, go, oh my God, finally someone fought Izzy the right way. Even Anderson entered the tie clinch. Just saying. Izzy doesn't ever enter the tie clinch. He's a great kickboxer. Sure, okay, it would technically make you a good kickboxer still because you don't enter the tie clinch, but you're still missing. That's not like it. That's where Muay Thai is a little bit more effective in my mind. Kickboxing's as limited as boxing in my mind because there's no grappling at all. If there is, someone comes in and goes, no, enough of that. Sure, give him a rematch. I don't really care if he gets the rematch or they go some other way. I really don't. Someone, I forget who was saying it, but it was a pretty good point. It was like, Izzy doesn't deserve a rematch because he's technically on, like, he's not the same champion as after Alex beat him. So Alex beat him and then he beat Alex. He deserves a rematch for that one. Wins, gets the title back, new title reign. So doesn't even defend it one time. But we're human beings. We've seen history, so it's hard for us to not take into account everything he's done before. UFC and WWE parent TKO stock company. I think it was at 104 when it first went on the market. It was $104. So it went up 2.6%. But stocks, man. Right? That's what they do. So that's what they do. That's what they do. Go watch those stuffs. What happened the last time top heavyweights clashed? A guy went for a takedown on a Japanese fighter in a ring, and then he submitted him? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this guy has no grappling defense. What was that? What the hell was that? Look at him. He's not even turning into him. He's not doing anything. Just giving him the choke. He's probably just so tired. All right. Oh, Borges. Wait, who's he talking about? Okay, so Chimaev posted a picture of Paulo Costa. Kibi Jim, mashallah, my Muslim brother, help everybody. Ask him to maybe help you, but still gonna smash you, Pavlovich. So that's him with... I don't understand. Smish. Okay, Smish. Rob Whitaker. This is what these fighters need to be doing. You're a fighter, you need to get a hobby or some sort of thing where you can use your platform to make a living. All right, you're a UFC fighter, you may not be the champ anymore, but look at him. He's like a Bethesda partner or something on Twitch. Makes way more money doing that. Makes way more money than doing that. She did a good job on Saturday as far as the pay-per-view stuff. I would like to see her switch people out. I want to see her, not DC again, put her in Felder, well, actually, we've seen her with Felder. Put her with Cruz. Put her with Rogan. I'd like to see her one with Rogan. Who else does pay-per-view? I think she's done with Bisbing, so it's not. But yeah, do one of those. Do one with her and Rogan. Contract signed, Bellator. I thought Bellator was going out of business. What's happening? I thought it was going out of business. It's got a pay-per-view 300 coming out. Okay, bet. That says like it all ends here. That's the marketing. And then this, contract signed. And then Justine's talking about fighting again. And she... Okay. The highest ticket price sold this year was $31,000 to UFC 87. And now UFC 295 for Jones versus Stipe, set to be $112,000. Inflation, baby. Talk about pressure fighting. Aaron Blanchfield's a good example of what you do when you got someone who's a pressure fighter. Watch her last fight. Tiffany Timebomb won again for her last fight, her retirement fight. She knocked the girl out. So she threw an inside leg kick. She got the girl to throw an inside leg kick. She threw her right hand. Head kick. Done. I mean, that was the most simple setup ever. And she did it at the highest level. She's one of the best as far as female kickboxers of all time. I love watching her fight. But, damn, that girl just fell for it. How's this weird to see? Of course this happened. My question is, why is DC there? Is he just not busy that day? What's your Swedish MMA event? Yeah, let's get Shavkat in there versus Usman. Let's get Usman versus Stephen Boy Thompson. Who do you think wins this weekend? Alexa Jack, Alexa Kevin Holland, Alexa Valentina. Mm-hmm. You guys are getting my... Oh, wow. Not that many people think that. Okay. Wow, okay. People really thought that was a fluke? People thought this was a fluke. People thought Alexa Grasso versus Valentina was a fluke. Oh, boy. Wait for my breakdown today, everyone. Wait for my breakdown today. You think it was a fluke? You think it was a fluke? Dun, 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 dun. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? No. Where are we? Okay. Remember, everyone, sunscrapnation.com. Head to it. Some people have checked it out, went on the website, give it a call, talk to some people, give it a look. I'm going to be opening up a gym membership soon. I'm going to cap it at 20 people, so this is your chance. You get to know ahead of time. I'm going to put out an ad, let everyone know. At a cool $165 a month. Yeah, we're going to do that. Come by, train exclusively with me, some of my fighters, or with the boys at Triumph. Yep. Going up to Canada possibly at the end of October. Troy is fighting, I don't know what promotion, but he's going to be fighting some Canadian guy. Oh, some Canadian guy, eh? I'll let you know more about the details on that so you guys can tune in. Other than that, let's get into these fights. Let's get into the fights. Let's break them down. Yeah. All right, we talked about that one. We talked about this. We're going to use that. We don't need this. We don't need that. We're here. Okay. So let's start at the very bottom. Start at the bottom. Joseph Kunston versus Marnek Man. Is this like Sarah McMahon's friend or something? Sister? No, I'm just kidding. Her name's McMahon, not Man. But anyway, let's go to this one because at least I have some knowledge. Nathan Levy versus Alex Reyes. For those that don't know, this guy right here, he clearly looks like him, but if you don't know, Alex Reyes is the brother of Dom Reyes, light heavyweight interim champion. Think so. And then Nate Levy has fought before in the UFC. He's had a pretty good run so far in the UFC as well. He's won his past 2 fights, and Garcia is the last person he lost to in a decision. I'm gonna go with Nate Levy on this fight. Yeah, Alex Reyes hasn't fought since Mike Perry, and I just think that's so long ago. And it was his first and only fight, and now he wants to get back, and he's gonna fight Nate Levy. I just think that's a hard fight. Does he get knocked out like the Mike Perry fight? Let's hope not. But you never know. But Nathan Levy doesn't hit like that, so maybe he won't have to worry about it so much. He trains in Syndicate. Oh, he fought a white supremacist at the gym. Yo, who are these idiots that are coming in that are like, I'm gonna fight so this is the guy? Yeah, even a white supremacist he took down. You know what I mean? If I was fighting a white supremacist, we stand and banging, bro. I'm knocking you the fuck out. All right? Or I maybe knock you down and then I get on top of you and then I grab and pound. But take him down. White supremacist. This is Alex Reyes' chance to get on that winning streak, but I don't know. Now this fight right here. For prelims, you know me. I'll get excited about a girls' fight. Jasmine Davinius. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Huge fan. When I went to tell the story again and again. When we went to CFFC, Troy and I, first fight. I think we were blue corner. Everyone in the blue corner lost except for Jasmine. She's the only one that came in with a W that night and just had an excellent performance. She's fun to watch. She's really good. She's got good striking. She's got good clinch work. Her ground game's very good, and she's constantly improving. And Tracy Cortez, she's got a lot of things that have happened in her life recently, and it's been a while since she's been in there. But yeah, she's only got 1 loss in the UFC against Silva, and I think she wins this fight as well. This is in where is this? I think this is in look at it. And yeah, so Tracy's fought she's fought Justine? I don't know that. Her last fight was 2022. It's about a year ago. And yeah. Well, I don't know who won this fight. Anyway, so she's either 4-0 or 3-1. Can't tell. That being said, this fight is in Las Vegas, so fair game. Obviously, Tracy trains in New Mexico with Fight Ready, and Jasmine's in Canada, but it's not in Mexico. It's not in Mexico City. There's not a lot of. There's not a lot of specific things that have to get ready for to go and travel and have this fight. So I think overall, even though it is a very Mexican heavy card, I feel like Jasmine's going to go in there and do fine and not have anything, no distractions, and just not fighting. I think is Tracy's biggest detriment to her, because she was 4-fight winning streak and then all breaks halt, stops for personal reasons, and that's just a problem. You had all that momentum and then to stop at like such a fast speed and then to have to get it going again isn't easy. It's probably, I mean, it took a year. I'm not surprised. Then you have Edgar Charez versus Daniel Lacerda. Shoot the box team. Let's go. Daniel Lacerda. Yeah, his last fight was awesome. I don't know if this is the one where it was like fight of the night. Oh, yeah, fight of the night. It went back and forth. Yeah. Yeah, he lost, but it was crazy. He hurt the guy really bad, and then the guy came back and won. I'm going to go with Daniel Lacerda for that fight, or this fight, because he did lose, and now he's trying to get that back. And this guy lost his last fight. And decision. Yeah. Daniel Lacerda, let's go. Roman Kopylov versus Josh Fremd. Roman Kopylov, I think, just had a knockout. Yeah, he knocked this dude out bad. It was a head kick. It was nice. Let's watch that. That being said, Josh Fremd, grappler. Pretty sure won his last fight in submission. He's a tall, long guy, too. 6'4". I know my things. 6'4", yeah, beat Jamie Pickett. Lost to Trayshawn Gore. Lost to Anthony Hernandez. Yeah, I think he's going to struggle against Roman Kopylov. Claudio Ribera. Well, yeah, it was this nasty head kick. Ooh, nasty. Yeah, nasty head kick. Drops a barrel. I like a guy that can set up a good head kick, so I'm always going to be on this kind of, between these two guys, I'm going to definitely choose Roman Kopylov. Look at this. Ooh. Ooh. Leon Edwards. It's Leon Edwards. It's Leon Edwards. He did the Leon Edwards. Boom. He thought he was going to throw the cross. That's why I threw the check hook. He thought I was throwing the cross. Yeah, dude. Roman Kopylov. Let's go. And then the prelims, Lupe Godinez versus Elise Reed. This is probably a give me for Lupe, right? Only loss was Hill and Carolina. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Okay, so lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. I mean, if we're going off of predictive programming, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one. It's up to her. If not, if she loses this one, if I'm her corner, I'm like, maybe we look into a sports psychologist. All right, so the main card, Fernando Padilla versus Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson, I always count Kyle Nelson out. And for that reason, I'm going to go with Kyle Nelson on this one. I thought Blake Builder was going to get him because fan of Blake, but I'm going to go with Kyle Nelson on this one. Even though Fernando Padilla is probably someone that yeah. Yeah, man, I like this guy, but I don't. I like this guy, but I don't want to call Kyle. I don't want to doubt Kyle Nelson. But Fernando Padillo, looked at. But what? I'm just gonna give him his. I'm just gonna give him his due because his knockout was awesome. But I don't want to. Yeah, look at that. I don't want to count him out because the last time I did, it's Blake Builder against a boxer. I was wrong. I thought maybe Cloud grapples him. Could be one of those. All right, so but to appreciate it, watch this. Pull back, hook, cross, touch, jab, cross. Just nonstop. So good. So good. So good. I'm going to go Kyle Nelson, though. This one, though, Christos Giagos. So his last win was against Grant, I forget his name. Ricky Glenn, who his last fight before that was in 2021. So years off. Comes back, fights this guy. The Spartan. Loses in a knockout. And let's see his opponent, Daniel Zellhuber, Golden Boy. Beat Lando Venata, unanimous decision, but then lost to Ogden. We're going to have to look this guy up. Zellhuber. So, well, he's got good striking. It's just that I think it's a case of if someone pressures him, it's going to be very hard for him to get his game plan going. So it's really going to be up to a guy like Giagos to press the pace, which I could see him doing. So when you look at the fighters, Giagos, it's not that he fights exactly the same way, but he's going to be a guy that's in his face the whole time. He's going to put the pressure on him. What's your name's Armin Saryukian, I guess. Yeah, Armin just comes out hard. So, never mind. Wrong fight to look at. Man, there are no good ones. Either way, wish I knew the odds on that, but I don't. And then when you have the return of Raul Rosa Jr. versus Terrence Mitchell. So here's the question. Terrence Mitchell. His last fight was to Simon, and he lost by TKO. And then Raul Rosas' last loss was to a guy apparently he should have beat. He probably comes in and gets the victory for this one just because he really has to. And Terrence Mitchell, oh, he fight Kai? Oh, was like a 125er. Okay, so yeah, Roel might just be able to. Yeah, Roel might just be able to grapple him. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Raul Rosa by just like grappling by submission. Kevin Holland versus Jack Della Maddalena. I like Jack's boxing, but where I think he's gonna have trouble in this fight is Kevin Holland doesn't just box, and he's gonna grapple, and he's gonna throw kicks, and he's gonna be awkward. And I think going back to the whole Sean Strickland thing, when you got a guy who is strictly boxing, who is such a specialist that, yeah, he looks very good, what happens if he starts bringing in unorthodox things? And that's where I think we're going to get a finish by Kevin Holland, whether it be a funky choke or by some weird knockout that usually happens when he fights, like Santiago Ponzinibbio or Joaquin Buckley, when he just... At 170, Kevin Holland's a very big problem to deal with. And this is a great fight for him because it's at home, and this isn't in Sydney. This isn't in Australia. He didn't get on the flight for that last card. He's doing it at home. This is the opposite, where Jack is the one that had to get on the flight to come to Vegas, unless he was already there. But that's where I see the bonus in Kevin Holland here, is that one, it's at home, and two, his awkwardness. It's going to play a big factor. It's either a decision or TKO, stoppage, something weird in the second or first. And then Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina. Alexa, people think that was a fluke. I really don't. I don't think that was a fluke at all. I think Alexa Grasso's boxing and her feints. Okay, let's start off with the feinting. So when I say feinting, Alexa Grasso didn't just like do the Macy Barber and like throw punches in air. What she was doing was she would throw jabs and crosses and hooks right at Valentina's guard. So Valentina was forced to move her feet back and gave her a false sense of range. That's what she did first. Second, she switched stances. Knowing Valentina's big weapon is being a south. This is part of the reason why Thais do well. It's so well against foreigners. Is Thais are naturally southpaw, and that also opens up it. And southpaw and orthodox isn't a. In my mind, it's not a. It's not. That's not the fight. The fight is someone is forcing open stance. If someone tries to force an open stance on you, it's your job to close that circuit and not allow them to throw power at your open stance, unless you were the one dictating the reason why you're there. If you know that they've got a power left hand, a power left kick, or they use that right hand to set up their power side, regardless, whatever, you know that they're a southpaw fighter. It's on you as a fighter not to become southpaw in order to go southpaw for southpaw, like power for power. What it is you're closing off that circuit. So that way you're not facing them open stance where your face, your body, your liver, your inside leg kick, all these areas that you don't take damage at typically because you're blocking and defending. All these different things, those are open now. So Alexa did a very good job of closing the circuit and putting her right hand in front and going southpaw. Most people typically don't do that because their outside thigh doesn't take the kicks as much. Granted, fair, awesome, sweet. Okay, I'm in a fight to win the title for 30 minutes. You think leg kicks right now are going to bother me? You take leg kicks in training. Okay, so you take a couple extra during practice for this fight camp. It doesn't matter. You're doing it in the sense of survival. Someone's trying to kick your head into the bleachers. I get it. They kick your leg a little bit. I'll take that over getting kicked in the liver or getting kicked in the head Jessica I style. So those two things in So those two things. You take away the kicking game of Valentina Shevchenko, and then you start creating these feints with your hands that force a false sense of range. So then when Valentina is bouncing in and out, her sense of range is now taken away. So when Alexa throws those feints at her glove, Valentina goes, oh, this is my time to counter. So Valentina steps into range, and then it allows Alexa Grasso to then step with her punches. Rather than just touching her gloves, she now steps in with the jab cross, and then when Valentina pulls away, the hook is there. These little things where the Mexican boxing style, where you're the volume, you touch, step in, bang, bang, bang. Those things are going to give a big issue to a kicker. Going to the Sean Strickland thing, touch. You touch them on the intermediate. You put them on the back foot. You don't let them set their feet and throw power kicks. And if they do, you get out of the way, get back in. You cut the angle, you get back in. You make them pay. And then Valentina spun, and Alexa took her back and choked her out. It's not the issue that Valentina spun. It's Valentina, you can spin. There's nothing wrong with the spinning attack in MMA. You have to set it up, for sure. And you should definitely not do moves that require a lot of energy going backwards. And that was her demise, was the fact that she threw a spinning technique going back. Oh no, it was a spinning kick. She threw a kick going backwards. Alexa already had all the reads. She knew the distance. She understood the distance. So when Valentina started to turn her back, Alexa could close the distance with her feet. The footwork wins fights all the time. And it's not just, oh, she caught her on a bad day like the Izzy thing. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko is very much like the Sean Strickland versus Izzy fight. If you think it was a fluke, you need to check your footwork understanding a lot better. You need to check your fight IQ better. It wasn't a fluke. I think Alexa Grasso does it now better and quicker in this fight. Bro, I think she finishes Valentina again in this fight. And people are going to realize it's not a fluke. It's not just like this girl came in and she caught her on a bad day and she spun, she took her back and choked her out. It's not that easy. You think it's that easy to just take Valentina's back and just start to choke her out? No, it was a systematic breakdown of her style, forcing her to make a mistake that she usually wins. She's still the favorite. God darn it, people. Are you serious? 155 to 113. Oh my God. Let me also break this down for people. Let's go with this one. Let's just do this. UFC ones. That's fine. Let's start with the first one. Sean Strickland. 32 years old. Not old. Prime of physical prime of a man. 34. Creeping over the prime. Starting to come over the prime. That's not bad. Good genetics. Probably can fight till he's at least 40 if he wanted to. Probably won't, but could fight till he's at least 40. She's 35. Alexa Grasso's 30 years old. With as much experience in the UFC. It's not a fluke. And I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of this. This is crazy. People don't watch fights. People watch TikTok. They just sit there on that phone the whole fucking time. They don't watch fights. They don't watch the fight. This is ridiculous. This is unbelievable. I got Alexa Grasso by submission or TKO faster than the first one. Let's rewind. Let's see which ones we like. I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. Nathan Levy, Jasmine Jasdovicius, Daniel Lacerda, Roman Kopylov, Lupi Godinez, Kyle Nelson. I'm going to go Daniel Zellhuber, Raul Rosa Jr., Kevin Holland, and Alexa Grasso. Those are my picks. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope the fights open people's eyes up this weekend, and I hope you guys enjoyed this weekend's fights. Until next time, until next Wednesday. This weekend, Cam, my kickboxer, he is fighting for Fight For It, and his first amateur debut in kickboxing in Winston-Salem. So support, give him some good luck messages, ride with him on Saturday, and until next week, enjoy. Thank you.